Cool. So for this sketch, I thought we'd take a little break from the norms and go with one of these pre-existing old sketches from forever and a day ago. And so which one? Let's just go with this one. Just kind of picking crap out of a hat. And then let me save this really quick over there. So now it's in where it properly needs to go. Okay, so I have no idea what is going on here with this old sketch. Once Ableton's done thinking, think, we can get on with the show. Okay, cool. Oh, I just need to do one last thing. Let's move this into our used already. Therefore, we don't pick it in the future. Okay, sweet. Okay, so it looks like we have a start, and let's see what happens here. Okay, we've got one note, and let's just take a look at the MIDI mappings, because I know in a lot of these old sketches I did a lot of sending MIDI out through a MIDI loop, loop BE, and then back in to fire things off, but it doesn't look like that is what's happening here. Cool, so it looks like we want to hit this maybe. It's hard to say what is really going on here. Looking back in time, it's kind of a mystery. So obviously we have a lot of follow actions here. I'm guessing there's potentially a lot of automations happening in there. Let's try this one again. Looks like we have a few different effects. I think we just walked into a big hot mess, maybe. So we have our send effects here for A and B. That makes sense. Lots of automations going throughout these clips. All right, let's follow it. And if I did my shit correctly back then, I will have things kind of moving from left to right. Looks like we've got, okay, there's MIDI going through MIDI 3. And here, okay, these must be automating some MIDI effects. And then we've got in from MIDI 3, more MIDI effects follow actions. Let's see here, modulation automations. Looks like our chain selection is, or no, we've just got a lot of different velocities coming through here. To get auto dub siren. Wow, okay. Let's see. And then this one, audio through. Quite the puzzle trying to go back to an old sketch just to figure out what the heck we were doing with our lives back then. So, okay, I don't think I want that one on. And nothing in there. Okay, so it seems like, okay, this is one of those situations where we may just want to like run this whole piece either through a bunch of effects, because what we've got here is like, so it's either not working, like it fully, something got lost in the translation maybe. Between, I think this was probably originally made in Ableton 8. And then now we're converting it over into Ableton 11. It's a lot of versions ago. Cool, okay. 8-bit lasers. maybe I will just strip this out and just drop in an operator and do our own thing. And how about a little bit of a white noise? Cool. And for now, I'm going to, let's see what's going on. What kind of effects do we have here? This must be the little space jingles. I guess not, maybe. Okay. Let's see. Effects Masters 4. Audio to group. And this is coming from through. Yep. And this, I would assume, has audio piping in from Effects Master 4. Okay. Cool. Okay, let's automate the heck out of this. We might have just pulled in the most half-baked of the old sketches, for all I know. Or something just didn't come right, but that's okay. It's a starting point nonetheless. And I think that this will be a good exercise to see if we can make something out of nothing. Now let's try and just turn this thing off. I am very curious where we are getting these bleepy bloop sounds. Especially considering we don't have any effects in here. My guess is it could be one of these. Something in here. Let's try turning all this off. Maybe there's something over here. No? We have two instruments going on. Okay, so... Let's see if we can get a pad in there. And maybe it's this chimes and bow thing. It's also... Cool. I'm almost hearing like a really minimal dubby kind of sound from this preset here. could create an bass kind of build up. More like a sort of bass swell. Cool, let's get some LFOs in on these. And let's see, we want the be like a super slow LFO on this one. And let's get another one and make it slightly slower there. One more. Sweet. Let's see what we can do with some of these synth effects. Let's try something here. Let's turn on our record automation and then cool. Now we have all these knobs switching it up when each of these follow actions are jumping to another one. So let's make sure these are set to legato mode. A bit of a rough start on this sketch, but sometimes that's just the way it's going to go. Here we go. We got legato on all these. Yep. And like I always say, if you're not screwing something up, you're probably not doing something right. As far as learning new stuff goes, anyway. Yeah, don't listen to me. I don't make any sense. All right. I was going to add in some little clicky clicks here and there. Nice. I think I like this kind of tick-tock click thing going on. I've definitely heard tracks before that were just nothing but stuff like this for 3 minutes or whatever. Minimal, very, very like basic. But I think we can always do more. I'm always like trying to push myself to see like and not always is that a good thing. Let's automate this down. I'm liking what I was hearing while messing with this. And I've got it tuned to that dubby chord. Cleaning some stuff up. Okay, cool. Alright, what are we gonna do with this layer? That's a really good question. Maybe we'll make it a little shorter for now, just so we can actually hear what we're doing. Okay, so yeah, I definitely want to automate some of that filter. I'm liking this, the growliness of this. Want to mess around with these sins a little bit. Oh, let's see what happens when we move some of these effects around. And again, as you've seen, we've used before a bunch of clips with different follow action lengths set. You can see here just kind of arbitrary different lengths. They are all set to play other. So when we turn this button on and start moving a knob, we just kind of record it. Whatever clip happens to be playing at the time where the playhead is passing through. And so as these start jumping around randomly, you get sort of random recorded positions being played back afterwards. It's a pretty lovable technique for generative stuff. Let's definitely get some filter action going here. I suppose one of the only drawbacks I can think of to this method of using a bunch of follow action clips and recording automation in them is that when it jumps from one clip to the next, you will see these jumps in automation, which sometimes isn't always a good thing, but oftentimes can cause really interesting, unpredictable results too. So and again, these are pulling audio from these delays we've set, or sorry, these sins, so that way we can have clips to store automation for effects in the sins. I know it's not really a normal way of doing it, but then we're not really trying to do anything normal at all on this in these sketches anyway, so go figure. Let's get a probability gate in this lane here. I guess I want the notes to mostly pass through. You can also automate this to be full 100% on for certain notes. And we could also mess around with the probability of the notes themselves, which is a whole other way of doing things. I suppose there's pluses and minuses to both methods of using a max for live patch versus actually having probability on the notes themselves. Using the device, you do get that extra control over when the probability is on and off using automations. Some LFOs on some of these here. And I want to map this one to the rate. maybe change the range. I don't know why Ableton does that sometimes. It just definitely freaks me out. Had enough crashes throughout all these sketches to learn to be a little freaked out, that's for sure. So yeah, let's definitely get these two modulating each other. Definitely hearing more things that can be done with this white noise. Cool. Oh yeah, what was I gonna do? Just sort of losing my mind. Just going to automate this. Really sure what happened there. I think we feel like we lost a lot of. So I'm just going to go in and just sort of scatter draw. Oh, I see, of course. We have all these clips here, and they're just sort of playing haphazardly. That makes a sense. Let's see if we can change the pitch of this dubby thing by altering. Yeah, okay. I'll take it. Let's hear this one again. I don't think this was anything interesting. Maybe we can turn it into something. So now we've just got, whenever this thing fires off, a bunch of weird effects on the other side. That fragulator. Also tempted to put one of those randomizers here as well. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to play some percussion to get a little interplay between various percussion sounds. Let's get some LFO action on this sampler. Always need some LFO action in our lives. creating a little dance between these various percussive sounds. For better or for worse. I guess that's all you do when you build a beat up, is just try your best to make something that sounds interesting and meaningful and has like a could be listened to for 4 minutes without getting old. You could certainly keep a song with a bass groove, you know, this basic and simple, but there's no end to the amount of like subtle rhythms you could have. All the rhythms you need, man. This clap needs a little bit of something. Maybe let's try some spectral time on there. Also, the snare needs some love. Not sure what that means. Maybe a bit of this kind of tight reverb. Let's hear about some textures. I know we've got some crackle nonsense we could mess with. Sound generators, textures. Oh yeah, space bugs for sure. Gotta get them space bugs in there. Just for the sake of cheese, we need to get our cheesy oh yeah voice in there. Heck yeah, okay, so let's stretch it like crazy. Pitch down. So bad. do kind of almost like the first little sound that it made. Can't explain it, it just sounded right. Yeah, just this very beginning part. So let's loop that. Let's make this loop. Let's see if we can't get the length of it out there. Let's go to 8. Definitely want to get that filter down on that last part. Need a kind of like a, I can't explain it, kind of a tone drop. There we go. darn crazy, and I assume it was coming from one of these is just set to in. Nice little pad there. So I might want to take these notes, these pad notes, and somehow get them to transfer over to here. Whichever one was taking... Yeah, maybe right into the dub group. Let's take the audio, or the MIDI here from pad, and straight into 3. Alright, we definitely want to, like, put a gator in there or something. Let's put an alligator. And then we'll group this. Get rid of that. Let's mute that. And now we can mute this whenever we want notes to come through. So let's get a clip going. So let's only have those crazy notes come through every now and then. Almost like a shaker sound. It definitely helps give like a steady rhythm, pushing the whole thing forward. Let's get a left and dry split going here. We used one of those in a while, so I'm realizing now that song may have been a little loud. Whoops, whatever. Keeping it loose. Y'all don't need to hear me talking anyway. It's not that most of what I say is of any importance anyway. This one is the one. There we go. Okay. We'll put this in here, and then this one in here. Limit this one just a little bit more. very spacey underwater dub. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Cool. So, yeah. And this one was kind of fun, just sort of freely adding a million different MIDI tracks. And we're, you know, barely picking 33, so honestly that's, you know, not too shabby. I mean, we could have just a whole series of groups like this set up that you could just kind of play along during a live set. Cool. All right, well, I think this one's good to go for the most part. Brah. Keeping it silly, keeping it dumb. All right, until next time, have fun.